This is an OTL audio amplifier. Very few of these exist in the world, mainly because people have to build them themselves, which takes considerable skill. About 15 years ago, I was heavily into reading audio magazines, and there were a number of these output transformerless designs, and I kind of morphed them into my own design. And mine has a phono preamp, and it has a line level switch so you can hook a CD up to it, and it optimally drives 50 ohm speakers, but you can get 8 ohm speakers to work. You just can't turn up the volume too loud or you get oscillation. 16 ohms is better. It's great if you have a bunch of speakers and you can put them in series. What output transformerless means is that there's nothing between the tubes, which you can see glowing there, and the speaker. And nowadays tubes are all the rage. There is a huge debate as to whether tubes sound better than transistors and that sort of thing. And in my opinion, they do. They have, as an engineer, I can tell you that they have a different amplifying characteristic than transistors, and which tends to give a warmer, more pleasant sound, kind of like the analogous situation between CDs and albums. CDs have been described as having kind of a harsh sound, whereas albums are softer, mellower. But the key to getting this output transformerless design that would directly drive speakers is using these special 6080 tubes. And these tubes were originally designed for power supplies. They mainly used them in Tektronix oscilloscopes. And they have very high permeance in the cathode, which means they're capable of conducting a lot of current. And I have 6 of them in parallel, actually 3 per channel. And if you can kind of see the layout of the whole thing, it's somewhat symmetrical. And in the back you have a power transformer, which the power transformer is mainly an isolation transformer. In case anything happens, you don't want to electrocute yourself, and also it supplies the filament voltage for the tubes. And then the tubes way in the back on the left are the preamp tubes, and they're shielded so that it doesn't pick up hum. This particular amplifier produces no hum, and the reason is the filaments are driven from DC rather than AC, and there's no hum to DC. So this actually sits on my shelf. I want to get it hooked up. The problem is I've got this big klipsch system, and you know, what do? You throw away an incredibly expensive stereo system for a project that you built yourself. Some people might do that. I'm not inclined to do it. Actually, I spend most of my days listening to music on the computer with headphones, and uh, the scene of audio is rapidly changing from great big pieces of hardware to small gizmos, and then to computers, which help make even smaller, faster, and better gizmos for listening to music, like the iPod. Um, so that's the story on the output transformerless audio amplifier. If anybody has any questions about it or interest in the schematics, I still have the schematics. They're kind of crude. I didn't have Vizio back in those days, and Vizio didn't exist. We were using DOS. But if anyone is interested, contact me, and might be able to, I've got a scanner, scan in those schematics and email them off to you. Thanks for listening.